Greetings, esteemed audience, and welcome to the Age of Steel and Fire. Today, we continue our epic journey through the great battles that forged the fate of civilizations. In 1860, Italy was not yet a nation. From north to south, fragmented kingdoms, foreign powers, and the burning dream of unity stirred in the hearts of its people. In that historic moment, one man, Giuseppe Garibaldi, led a volunteer army across the sea, marching into southern Italy. And at the banks of the Volturno River, they faced a battle not just for land, but for the future of a nation. This is the story of Volturno, where blood, bravery, and the dream of unity became one. As always, let's begin with the historical context leading up to the battle. As I mentioned, in the mid-19th century, Italy was not a unified nation. Instead, it was a fragmented mosaic of kingdoms, duchies, and territories under foreign influence, dominated by powers like Austria and France. In the north, the Kingdom of Sardinia-Piedmont, ruled by the House of Savoy, was steadily expanding its influence, guided by Prime Minister Cavour, a master of diplomacy and strategy. In the south, the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies, ruled by the Bourbon dynasty, faced growing unrest. Corruption, repression, and stagnation had eroded public trust. Amid this turmoil, a legendary figure emerged, Giuseppe Garibaldi. A warrior, a revolutionary, and a symbol of Italy's yearning for unity. In 1860, Garibaldi launched the Expedition of the Thousand, a daring campaign of volunteers who sailed from Genoa to Sicily. Within months, he defeated Bourbon forces in Sicily, captured Naples, and advanced toward the Volturno River, where the Bourbon army regrouped for a decisive counterattack. The Battle of Volturno was not merely a clash of armies. It was a confrontation between two visions, a united, democratic Italy, and a fading feudal regime. Now let's dive into the progression of the Battle of Volturno, along with its strategic analysis and the outcomes it produced. On October 1, 1860, morning mist blanketed the Volturno River. On the southern bank, Garibaldi's volunteer forces fortified their positions. They knew the Bourbon army was preparing a counteroffensive. The Bourbon forces, numbering around 25,000, launched multiple attacks from Capua, Santa Maria, and nearby towns. Their goal: to split Garibaldi's army and strike decisively before the Piedmontese reinforcements arrived. Garibaldi, commanding roughly 30,000 troops, including volunteers, local militias, and some regular units, had prepared meticulously. He deployed his forces in depth, using the river and terrain to slow the enemy's advance. Throughout October 1st, fierce clashes erupted. The Bourbon army pressed hard, but met stiff resistance. Garibaldi led from the front, moving between fronts, issuing orders, and inspiring his men. On October 2nd, the Bourbon attacks continued, but signs of fatigue and poor coordination began to show. Garibaldi launched a strong counterattack, repelling the enemy and forcing them to retreat to Capua. After 2 days of fierce combat, the Bourbon forces were forced to retreat. Garibaldi emerged victorious, secured Naples, then capturing Capua, a strategic stronghold, and swiftly advancing toward Gaeta, where King Francis II had taken refuge. The victory at Volturno not only solidified Garibaldi's control over the south, but also paved the way for the Piedmontese army to move in and unify the territories. Just months later, in March 1861, Italy officially declared unification, with Victor Emmanuel II crowned as the first king of the Kingdom of Italy. Volturno became a historic turning point, where revolutionary ideals transformed into political reality, and was a triumph of strategy, courage, and a vision that transcended its time. Across Europe, international reactions were mixed. Some monarchies feared the spread of revolutionary fervor, while intellectuals and the press hailed Garibaldi as a symbol of liberty and patriotism. The Battle of Volturno was more than a military clash. It was the ultimate strategic test for Garibaldi, a man without formal military training, yet gifted with extraordinary tactical instinct. Garibaldi knew, if the Bourbon army recaptured Naples, the entire expedition of the Thousand would collapse. So he chose Volturno, a terrain of rivers and ridges, ideal for defense and counterattack. While the Bourbon forces attempted to split Garibaldi's army with simultaneous assaults, Garibaldi employed layered defense, positioning his troops in depth, holding key choke points, and striking back at the right moment. One critical factor was morale. Garibaldi's volunteers were not professional soldiers, but they fought with a burning belief in a united Italy. That belief held them firm against relentless attacks. The result: the Bourbon army retreated to Capua. Garibaldi secured Naples, and within weeks, the Piedmontese forces advanced south, completing the unification. Finally, more than 160 years have passed since the Battle of Volturno, yet its echoes still resonate through Italy's history. It was not merely a military victory. It was a declaration that courage, conviction, and the dream of unity can overcome any obstacle. Volturno was the crossroads of revolutionary ideals and political reality. It proved that a united people can rewrite their destiny. Today, in Capua, in Naples, and along the Volturno River, monuments and streets bearing Garibaldi's name remind Italians of the arduous journey toward nationhood. And to the world, Volturno stands as a testament that history is not written by weapons alone, but by ideals, by belief, and by those who dare to act.